Hey there, rock stars. Sarah Rockin' Robbins here, coming to you live with another episode on Mondays of the Rockstar Recruiting School Live. I am so glad you're here. As people are streaming in today, go ahead and shout out in the comments. Tell me who you are, where you're tuning in from. I would love to welcome you. And of course, if you share this on your team page, remember, you give a share for a shout. The more who know, the greater your business will grow. So we would love to have your team watch this live with us on our team pages too. Who am I? I am the author of the best-selling book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. You can find this on Amazon, and creator of the CD series, which is my 7-figure success system for network marketing, the Rockstar Recruiting School, and my new one for leaders, the Masterclass Edition. I'm so excited to be coming to you live today, as I do on Mondays, to share with you just some tips and things that I've learned along the way. It's so good to see you guys tuning in. If you're watching for the first time, whether it's live or replay, drop a number 1 in the comments below. I would love to see who's here for the very first time. And tell us where you're tuning in from as well. I would love to hear from you guys as well as we're getting started. Today I wanted to share with you a topic that's been at the top of my mind just due to some recent discussions that I've had on my team, but also, of course, some things that I've been thinking about as well. Brandy, thank you so much for sharing, for everybody who's saying that they're sharing. I so appreciate that. But really, the topic is the flavor of the month and how comparison can kill your business. So you may be wondering, like, how do these two things go hand in hand? I'm going to explain that a little bit to you guys today. You know, I've been in my business now for about 10 years. Our team did over $1 billion in sales. We have one of the largest network marketing businesses in the profession. And I think about when I started my business, I was a shy young kindergarten teacher. I had absolutely no network. I had no experience in marketing, much less network marketing. And remember, like 10 years ago, guys, when we had Facebook, like it was so silly, the things we'd post. Like, I love when it brings up my post from 10 years ago. I'd like post like, hi, how is everyone today? Okay. So it was like, we didn't really have social media, and we definitely didn't have, internet marketing strategy, etc. So I went on to build this really massive business when my company was starting. And let me just say this, let's even just talk about where I was at from a company perspective, because my mom and I were the first 2 distributors in our company. We didn't have trainers. We didn't have training. We didn't have a compensation plan yet. We didn't even know how we were going to get paid. And we had absolutely no presentation. Okay. So it's pretty crazy to see the success that we've built in a relatively short period of time during my first 5 years, with all of the odds stacked against us, okay? If you know my story, you know that 5 years in, by the age of 29, I was our company's first 6-figure per month income earner. And I didn't imagine earning that in a year, much less than a month, okay? So that's my own unique story. Of course, everybody's story is different. But naturally, of course, that led everybody to look on the outside in, from our company to our profession, to start to say, oh my gosh, what did Sarah Robbins do? What did her team do to build this incredible business? And all of a sudden, I started getting invitations to train and to speak and to be featured in articles and, of course, to write my book, right? And so all of this kind of started happening fast and furious. And, of course, it was exciting. Our team worked really hard. And I look back on all of that, and it's kind of like what Biz Stone says, co-founder of Twitter: timing, perseverance, and 10 years of trying eventually make you look like an overnight success. I mean, my mom and I didn't do anything magical. When we started our business, we had weekly meetings at a church coffee shop. And again, we didn't have a presentation. I remember actually making like Xerox copies. I was a teacher on that like old-fashioned Xerox machine, okay? And making flyers for the events, and people were like, this doesn't look like a, billion-dollar brand. I was like, they didn't make it, I did, right? This was back in the day. We didn't even have compliance yet, so we didn't have rules and regulations, right? So here I am making my own branded flyers. They were terrible, okay? So, but here's what we did right. We did the work up front. We literally built week to week, event to event, and we did the hard stuff. We schlepped the product. We didn't have a presentation because our company was so new. We just literally got up, we told our stories, we told our product stories, we told the company story, we invited people to join us, and we said, okay, next week, bring your friends. And we did this week after week after week. Do you know by the end of the month, we had 300 people on our team. In fact, back in the day, this is when one of our founders actually called and said, oh my gosh, you guys have to slow down. We weren't prepared for this growth. Keep in mind, we're a baby brand new company back in the day, okay? Of course, we don't have that going on now, meaning we can bring as many people on board as we want. But literally, it was just our passion. It was our excitement. It was our resilience. It was consistency. It was the hard work we were putting in every day. Who listened to my training last week where I talked about the 5 rules and I talked about the time that I spent with John Maxwell? If you were on last week, drop a number 2 in the comments below. And if you missed it, go back to my blog, sarahrobbins.com, and you can read about the 5 rules. But he talks about, if you wanted to chop down a tree, and you went to your backyard and you picked one tree and you took 5 swings at it every single day, as long as you took 5 swings at the same tree, eventually the tree would fall down. But here's the thing, you can't get distracted, you can't go to a different tree, and you have to continue to be consistent. That's the truth with our business too. I was consistent. I put in the time that it took. I did the work every single day. So here's where we get into that flavor of the week. It's so interesting that, as time has evolved, now I've been in my company for a decade and I've seen so many leaders, rank to the tops. Back in the day it was, what is Sarah Robbins doing? Then it was, what is so-and-so doing now? What is so-and-so doing now? What is this fresh, young, hip, new leader doing? It's like the second that somebody has success, we get into this place where we shift gears, we shift our focus, we start pointing at that person, and all of a sudden they become the flavor of the week. And if we're not careful, that feeling of comparison and that competition can come in. And sometimes that can lead to desperate measures that aren't sustainable, that aren't duplicable. We're in a business of duplication, that aren't the best thing necessarily for building a lasting business, a legacy business. So for example, I'm going to do all these, discounts of the products, and I'm going to do all of these flash sales, and I'm going to, incentivize people to the point of literally no return. And when we look at the things that we're doing, we say, oh my gosh, this can't even duplicate. I'm offering everybody, $1 million, I'm just joking, of course, to join my team. And then the problem is your team can't duplicate it. And if they can, they get to a place where they can just never sell product or recruit people normally because of the example that we set. You see, back in the day, I didn't have any special strategy like that. Like I mentioned earlier, I did not. I see a lot of thumbs up, so this must be just striking some chords here. I didn't have any special strategy like that. I didn't even know what the heck a flash sale was. I wasn't discounting anything because I thought, you know what, my product is that good. Instead of doing all these discounts, I'm going to explain the value that people get. I'm going to leverage the guarantee that our company gives on the products. I'm going to sell with confidence and come from a position of strength. I didn't have social media to be doing, special things. We didn't have social media back then. I didn't even know, I still have never done internet marketing. I don't even really know anything about it. Literally, I just was I'm going to get up and share my story, my products, my opportunity with passion. And I'm going to leverage every opportunity, every venue. I went out and I did the work. I did the hard work. I did it alone. I did it afraid. But here's the thing. I did it every single day. So as we get into this place, I want to encourage you not to get into this place where we're looking, we're comparing, we're competing, we're trying to figure out what somebody did, what the magic bullet was to build $1 billion team, right? And instead reflect and ask ourselves if we are willing to do the hard work, to lead by example. And everything you do in this business duplicates. So you have to ask yourself, are you worth replicating? Is what you're doing duplicable? Is what you're doing sustainable? Are you building a business for legacy, for the long term? The great news is my business is not a house of cards. It's not going to crumble and fall. I could leave my business tomorrow, not leave it, but meaning I could retire. And my organization, it's replicating. It is self-running at this point. But the thing is we have really built for legacy. I mean, truly, I want to leave this long term, not just to my leaders, but to my family, to my children, and to my children's children. Can you guys tell that I am fired up? I am pumped up. So here's the thing. I have been in my business long enough to see there has been so many flavors of the month. Oh my gosh, so-and-so just built to this milestone. Flavor of the month. What are they doing? Okay. Oh my gosh, so-and-so, there's somebody else new and they just built to this milestone. They were the fastest to do it. What are they doing? Here's the thing I will tell you. When I look at all of the top leaders, let's say the top 10, I know who they are in our company, and I ask myself this question, what do we have in common? What do we have in common? Here's the thing I will tell you. We are all different ages. We are all different backgrounds, from lawyers to teachers to figure skaters to stay-at-home moms, okay? All different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. Now, amazingly, all of our top leaders, none of us had any experience in network marketing. We're all first time at this, which is pretty incredible. Some of us had social media when we started our business. Some of us didn't. Some of us don't even use it. But here's the thing that I will tell you that we all have in common, because there's not a lot of commonalities, to be honest. We all have grit. We're all working really hard. But we all recruited at least 50 to 100 or more people. That's it. So what did we do to get to that point? We focused on 5 timeless practices that have nothing to do with technology, but that have everything to do with taking the 5 swings every single day. 5 things we focused on. Number 1, meeting new people. Guys, here's the thing. You can literally, you need to just get out of your house and go where the people are. Go to networking events. Get a booth at an event and go and share your products and share your opportunity. I did all of that. I've done all of that. I put in the time to build the foundation. Have events. Bring your samples. Go make new friends. Your business may never even come into conversation. It's okay. $1 million tip. Pull out your phone and say, I've loved meeting you today. Let's stay in touch. And follow up later on social media if it doesn't come into conversation. Okay? Or give them a sample and tell them you'll follow up. We focus on meeting new people. You've got to keep your funnel full. Number 2, we also focused on inviting. We were always inviting to coffees, to calls, to events. Okay, I think, there's good things and bad things about living in this social world. Everybody's all about virtual, and that's great, but it doesn't take place of the belly to belly. It truly doesn't. One of my top leaders, Natalia, she is one of the top leaders in our whole company. And she tells the story of how she built a groundswell in her area. She had weekly meetings too. They started at a restaurant. Then they were in a small clubhouse, and a big clubhouse, and a small hotel, then a big hotel. Now they have hundreds of people at their meetings. She's built an incredible legacy, lasting success. And again, this was back in the day where neither one of us were doing anything on social media. And we weren't flash selling. We weren't discounting. We didn't even know what that was back in the day. We were doing the hard work, okay? We focused on inviting. The third thing is we showed people the business. We showed people the products. So for example, in skincare, we're bringing them through our solution tool, right? Giving people suggestions, asking them to try the product. If we were showing the business, we were out and about over coffees, doing it on phone calls, at events, etc. We were always showing people our business. Number 4, we followed up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You guys, it is so disappointing to me when I hear people say, oh yeah, I researched the company, I found you because somebody in my work told me about your business 5 years ago, but they never followed up. So I found you. The fortune is in the follow-up. We followed up. You answer their questions, you handle their objection, and then you ask. You have not, if you ask not, conquer the close. Tell them, I want to be honest with you. I'd love to have you try my products. I'd love to have you join my team. And then the fifth thing is we focused on getting people off to a strong start. If it was the products, we gave them great customer service. We made a recommendation. We followed up to make sure they got their products. They knew how to use them. We followed up again a week later to make sure they were getting great results. And then we follow up on a monthly basis to see what they're out of, to introduce something new to them, to keep them on board, right? To build that legacy business. If it was a new consultant, we focused on setting up their event, helping them to create their list, brainstorming through who was on it, how we would reach out to them. And then, of course, how to announce their business as well. So guys, the thing that I want you to ask yourself when you get caught up in that place, the comparison mode, and we're focused on what's this team doing, what that team doing, what's this leader doing, what's that leader doing, there must be something more fresh, more innovative, etc. Remember this. The question is not just whether it works for that moment or for that season. The question that I want you to ask yourself is this: will it duplicate on my team? And is this going to last? Guys, I believe we have one of the best professions in the world. Where else could you build a business on your time? On your terms, leverage the credibility of huge brands and the resources of large corporations, become profitable right away, to truly have the opportunity to build freedom of time, freedom in your finances as well. You know, truly, I believe we have one of the best opportunities in network marketing out there today. But we have to be willing to put in the hard work that it takes. There is no secret to success. I love Rory Vaden says, success is never rented, it's owned, and the rent is due every single day. You have to be willing to do the tough stuff. But I encourage you in the process to make sure that you are leading by example for your team. You know what every one of us did? Every one of us top leaders, not just in the business, but in the profession. You know what we did? We worked really hard. We talked to a lot of people. I've had thousands of conversations. I've done hundreds of presentations. I've recruited a couple hundred people. If you didn't watch the video, when you opt into my site, you can sign up for my emails, not for my company, but for my generic training. Go to sarahrobbins.com, sign up for the free video. It's called Demystifying the Big Build. I tell you exactly how many people I recruited to get to where I am today. Not only that, I tell you how. But there is no magic bullet to success. You got to be willing to do the hard work, to take those swings every single day. My wish for all of you is that you would find joy in your own individual journey. And instead of comparing yourself to another leader or to another team, celebrate the progress of not only yourself, but your team as well. It's a beautiful business, guys, and it can leave legacy to your family if you build it the right way. Build it to last. All right, guys, you got me pumped up and fired up. Now I'm ready to go ahead and tackle the day. Did you like what you learned today? Go ahead and shout out below. What were your takeaways? I love reading your comments every week. By the way, I do, and I love them. So go ahead and shout that out. And then if you don't mind, click share onto your team pages. Guys, your team needs to hear this message today because let's face it, at some point, they felt inadequate, or maybe they've even questioned the direction of their team. And what they need to realize is the more that they put that out there, really, the chances are they're going to find their next rock star. Guys, I hope this blessed your business today, and I hope you have a great day. And I'm going to be putting more of this over on my blog at sarahrobbins.com. Have a great day. God bless, and goodbye for now. Rock on, rock stars.